My opinion, race and racism is America's chronic disease, pretty much since the beginning. In 1776, race actually played a part in the American Revolution. Maybe not a huge part, but a part. Thomas Jefferson, in the Declaration of Independence, before it was struck on the edit, talked about slavery, African slavery, as being forced upon America by King George III. It was removed because it was provocative. In 1775, Lord Dunsmore, Royal Governor of Virginia, offered freedom to African slaves, uh, escaped African slaves, if they could escape. They would be offered their freedom if they fought on the side of Britain. And that was one of the factors that brought South Carolina and Georgia into the American Revolution. Charleston, believe it or not, was almost an American copy of English aristocracy, the culture, etc. Also, one of the things South Carolina, Georgia, one of the things that brought them in was 1772. The Somerset decision banned slavery from English soil, British soil, and America was a little concerned, especially the South. Would England, um, force um, America to give up slavery? The Compromise of 1850, I think it was basically America around that time, the South specifically, wanted slavery to expand west along with the manifest destiny that expanded, the United States westward, claiming territory as it went. Um, the North was not in favor of that, mainly because of politics. The Three-Fifths Compromise in the American Constitution gave the South extra leverage in Congress. The House of Representatives specifically over the North, between population and that three-fifths of a slave for representation, gave the South an added advantage, and the North just wasn't, having it. In 1860, when Abraham Lincoln was voted into office as president, he was fairly neutral about slavery. If everyone remembers that, it basically prompted the South to secede from the Union because they weren't sure. Neutral was not going to be good enough, and Lincoln was more or less neutral. It was not going to be good. Next item, and we're moving into 2025 here. Um, this is an excerpt from Larry Wilmore's Black on the Air. Larry Wilmore is kind of like a comedian, writer, kind of old school. He was behind Blackish and all the satellite shows from that. So anyway, he's got a podcast. This is from a few days ago, and he's interviewing Thomas Chatterton Williams. Uh, Williams was kind of one of those anti woke guys. He's friends with um, Glenn Lowry and um, all those, kind of black conservatives. But he has something rather interesting to say here about, the, um, again, America, America's racism is cultural. So this will be interesting. Let's see what you think.
Just not even thoughtful. Elon Musk is the completely wrong person, as far as I'm concerned, to be engaged in that sort of thing, like mirroring what he did at X, which X now, it's X is like, it gets you drunk with the porn and then punches you down with the with the conspiracy theories. Like that's all it
Yeah.
is now. But it's hardly a neutral platform, and the government is hardly this. They're not changing into this neutral landscape that they have promised people. It really is just an agenda tool now, which they're setting up for the foreseeable future.
No, I mean, I don't know about you or how often you go on X anymore, but there's this kind of there's porn, but there's also a kind of race porn
Mm.
that it feeds and supplies, recycled, even outdated and old videos that are presented as fresh, of like
Mm.
the worst possible depictions of black criminality as a way of kind of exciting the racist imagination. I mean, it's a kind of toxic and really terrible place, and at the same time, there still is that residue of when it used to have important conversations happening. So it's strange. A lot of us still go on there and look and can find productive conversations, but it's surrounded by this kind of very very toxic context where some things are true and a lot is not true, and it's this free for all in which I think there's a possibility.
Well, Thomas Chatterton Williams is kind of famous for, kind of prevaricating. I don't even know what to say about what he does. What he does, he does. He reminds me in a lot of ways of Kamala Harris. He won't call a spade or a racist a racist. Kamala Harris did wrong, in my opinion, when she just, you know, wasn't particularly forthcoming with American history. Well, let's move on because this video is getting longer than my capabilities for doing videos. So, this is from a lady YouTube creator. She's, like I've said before, kind of reminds me of my mother. She is an elderly woman, but she makes a point. And this particular picture that's on the screen depicts black women, the 92% who voted for Kamala Harris. She might not have been the best candidate, but I think time will tell. I think Trump's first 100 days are just going to be bumbling, stumbling white mediocrity. And, yeah, it was predictable, but, that's what America voted for. So we go.